Hello, it is Easter Sunday. I'm going to go ahead and start my reselling vlog. I usually start it on Monday, but I'm packaging orders for tomorrow. I came home from vacation from a quick road trip and with tons of orders. So this, I just wanted to show this. I'm so proud of this. This is a Frankenbox. This is a priority box that should close at the end. It has like a ½ inch space when you close it. It has a Seen It board game in it that would not close. So, and it fit the box perfectly except for the very end for like 1 inch, like if you leave the box open. And so I just put some bubble wrap around the board game and then added this priority Tyvek wrapper around it. And so essentially it's a Frankenbox. So they'll still accept it. It's still within their size guidelines. It's just, you know me, I like to use the priority boxes as is, but sometimes you have to make adjustments. I was quite proud of that. So yeah, inside this is a board game. There are board game boxes that are like really long, and I have some of those, but they cost like $18 to mail, and this is just going to be normal priority, 3 pounds, whatever. It's still going to be cheaper than the $18 of if I used one of the game boxes. And I don't know, it might be more than $18 now since they raised the rates. That's it. I just wanted to show you this box, and I hope everyone had a happy Easter, and let's have a good start to a new week. Good afternoon. It's Wednesday, April 23rd or 4th. I can't remember. Whatever the day of the week it is. I was just trying to think what to discuss about eBay this week. Summer's coming up, and so if you go on vacation, you definitely need to think about your handling time. Like, I currently have 1 day handling time because I can ship within 24 hours. And my last 2 trips have been on the weekend, so I didn't have to change the 1 day handling time, because remember, if you sell something on Friday, you don't have to ship it on Saturday. eBay's handling time is only Monday through Friday. A lot of customers may not realize that and expect you to ship on Saturday, but the eBay system's not going to prompt you that you have to ship on Saturday. Something sells on Friday, you can ship it on Monday. So that's great if you do weekend getaways like me and Robert do a lot. We don't have to worry about changing our handling time. But in a couple weeks we're going to be out of town, like on a Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and so I definitely have to remember to change my handling time to, like, I don't know if I'm going to do 3 days or 5 days. I might just do 5 days, even though we're going to be gone for 3 days, because when I get home from flying, the last thing I want to worry about is packaging. So I might just do 5 days. So, but what you have to remember is if you have auctions and the auctions have started and you change your handling time, it doesn't change the handling time on those active auctions. Whatever the handling time was when you started it is what it's going to be. So for example, I have auctions that end every Sunday, and so I started last Sunday, and so right now they're going on. And they'll end this Sunday. If I were to change my handling time today to 3 days, those auctions are still 1 day. That started, there's nothing I can do to change it. So if I'm out of town next week, those auctions end Sunday, and I'm gone on Monday, and someone pays Monday, and I have to ship on Tuesday, and I'm gone. Am I making sense? I think I'm losing my train of thought. I have to ship within 1 day, even if all my other listings say 3 days. So you just have to remember that, so you don't make mistakes in the past like I have. So I'm not even going to start auctions next week. I'm just going to take a break from auctions for 2 weeks, because I don't want to worry about if those auctions have 1 day handling or 3 day handling, or if, like, say the auctions end but someone doesn't pay right away. As soon as they pay, that 1 day starts. So, and I don't require immediate payment. So most of my customers pay within like 48 hours, but sometimes they take a week or 2. So if they were to pay while I'm on vacation, it's a bummer. So, and actually if I only have a couple people who haven't paid yet, I will email them a couple days before I'm ready to leave and say, I'm going out of town, please pay. And I usually do, because a lot of my customers that take forever to pay are repeat customers, and they just need a little prompt and then they'll pay. So handling time is very important to think about if you're going out of town. So that's all I got. I don't know. It's been an average week. Nothing exciting. No crazy buyers. Cross my fingers. So sales are slowing down a little. I don't know if it was because of Easter. I don't know. I try not to assume anything every day's different with eBay. Sometimes it's really good and sometimes it's a little slow. So anyway, we're out running errands, enjoying this nice rainy afternoon. Just get out of the house. We've just been working really hard the last couple days, so we're like, let's just go do something. Unfortunately, we can't really walk because I don't really want to get rained on, so we're just gonna run a couple errands. So that's it. If you guys have questions on shipping and handling time, I know some people when they go on vacation, they'll leave, like if it's a 7-day, they'll leave their store open, and then say the first day of vacation it says 7 days, and then in the middle of the week they'll change it to like 5 days, and they change their handling time every day until the day they get back it's back down to 1 day. I don't do that. The day I get back from vacation, I change it back to whatever handling time I want. Nothing wrong with that method, it definitely works, but when I'm on vacation, I check my email once a day to answer any questions, so I definitely don't want to worry about handling time and having too many questions. So, oh my god, what is that? Traffic is what it is. Good morning. It is Friday, April something, 25th, 26th, whatever it is. It's been just a pretty average week, average sales. I haven't had any crazy buyers per se, but I just was thinking about a couple emails I've got that I wanted to share. So usually people email me through eBay. Sometimes I get an email through my direct email, and how that happens is when people pay through PayPal and they get a receipt, it will have your seller email, and so occasionally that's how I get emails, because I don't really broadcast my email. I guess they can always request it from eBay, but I think it's mainly, why wouldn't they email me through eBay if they're going to request it anyway? So I'm just assuming they get the email through PayPal. And so I had one lady back in February, she had bought a baby book. This was on my reselling account. She had bought a baby book like 2 months before that, and then in February she had her baby, but she actually had twins. So she emailed me saying she had twins, so the baby book I sold her isn't gonna work. She doesn't like it, so she wants a refund immediately. She doesn't think she has to return it because there's not enough pages for twins. And I'm like, how is that my fault? The item is exactly as described. You had twins, it had nothing to do with the book, but I just thought it was funny because she didn't even want to return it. She demanded an immediate refund, and yeah, I just ignored that. And it was past eBay's 60 days, so she couldn't force a return. The only thing she could do now is if she could technically do a dispute through PayPal, because I feel like you can do a dispute through PayPal for like forever. But she hasn't, and most people don't realize that. I've only ever had that happen once, and it was a scam. So usually only scammers realize that you can dispute forever through PayPal. And she wasn't a scammer. She was just a lady who felt a little entitled that since she had twins, she should have had a full refund. And then this week I had a private email where this guy had bought an item a year ago and it broke, so he wanted a full refund. That one I ignored. See, he can't even email through eBay because it was like a year ago. I'm like, really? He's like, I'm really disappointed. This item broke. I demand a full refund immediately. I bought it a year ago. And I'm just like, I didn't even research it. As soon as he said he bought it a year ago, you know, if you have a problem, as long as you tell me within 60 days, you know, I listen. But after 60 days, forget it. I'm done. And then going through my email this morning, I got a really intriguing email through Etsy. I sell a lot on Etsy. I really don't mention it that much because what I sell on Etsy is not... I do have an account where I sell vintage wrapping paper, but at my main account, I sell my private label handmade items. I don't really talk about my handmade items. It is a private label thing. There's just too many copycats in the world. I've had a problem with people stealing my designs, and that's why I don't talk about my private label. But on Etsy, I do very well with this private label. I do very well with these handmade items, and they invited me to, I guess Etsy, they're doing this new program where they're teaching classes at local community colleges, so they're reaching out to their top Etsy sellers and asking them to teach these classes at these community colleges. So at St. Louis Community College, they want me to submit a resume to teach some classes in August, and Etsy supplies everything, like the PowerPoint, the spreadsheet, all the curriculum. They just want you to read through it and put it into your own words. But you still, and you get paid, but you still have to submit a resume. And I'm assuming they just, because I'm one of, like, I'm in like the top 500 of Etsy sellers, I'm assuming, or maybe they just send it to everyone. I don't know. Did anyone else get an email through Etsy asking to submit a resume to teach a class? I'm intrigued by it. I mean, I'm very intrigued, so I think I will send off my resume this weekend and just see if they'll pull me in for an interview. It's not much money. I think it's like $650 for the month, but I just think it would be interesting to teach a class. We'll see. I'll let you know if I get the job, but it's just like a month thing. But I don't know. And the fact that Etsy supplies all the materials, I just have to like put it into my words. That sounds very intriguing too. So anyway, that's been my week. I'm gonna go ahead and end this vlog. Not really much going on this weekend. We're just gonna hang out. The girls have a dance competition, so I'll probably go watch some of their dance competition. And then next weekend we're going out of town. Yay! My husband, I'm gonna get the name wrong, so I don't even know what I'm gonna try. We're going to Epcot because the first weekend in May, right now it's their it's their food and flower festival. No, I don't know. Another one of their festivals. Epcot has festivals every other month. So they have, in Epcot, they have an outdoor pavilion and they'll have music, and so I think it's Glenn Fry, one of the Eagles guys, is singing, and my husband loves him. He loves all the Eagles, but one of them passed away a couple years ago, but luckily we got to see him before he passed away. And so he's performing at Epcot, and so we're flying so Robert can see this guy in a smaller venue, because he wants to, it's more better than a bigger venue. Because when we saw the Eagles, it was like at the Kill Center, which is now like the Enterprise Center, and it was nice. We were in the first 10 rows, but it was huge, so he's looking forward to seeing this guy in a smaller venue. And so yeah, we're flying to Florida for that, but keep in mind, remember, still have free airfare for the year. We have an annual pass to Disney, so really all we're paying for is the hotel room and any food we eat. So yay. And then the reason that we're doing this for him is because the week that we get back, I'm gonna go see New Kids on the Block. Yes, I'm seeing New Kids on the Block again for the 20th time. It's my thing. I go with Holly and my cousin Narissa, and so Robert's like, you're spending all this money on New Kids, and I'm going to Disney to see Glenn Fry. I hope it's Glenn Fry. It's one of the Eagles. I like their music. Of course, the Eagles is not my favorite band, but for Robert, I'll go. They're good music, don't get me wrong. I definitely enjoyed the concerts I've been to of them, but I'm a New Kids on the Block fan. That's what kind of music I like. New Kids and anything from the 80s is what I love. So I've been rambling enough. That's what we're doing the next couple weeks. So since we're going out of town next weekend, I'm not doing any more auctions for the next 2 weeks. I still have buy it nows. Majority of my sales are buy it nows. I don't think I talked about this, and if I did, I apologize for repeating myself. I consider my auctions like advertising. When I list something for an auction, I always start it at 99 cents. It's never an item that I paid more than $1 for. So if it goes for 99 cents, I break even, maybe lose a little money, because keep in mind, I do charge for shipping, but there's fees and stuff. And very rarely do they just go for 99 cents. They usually go between $6 and $20. Sometimes I'll have an item that surprises me and goes for $30, but I average it out. I average my auctions out. So say I list 20 auctions starting at 99 cents, that's $20, and then at the auctions when they end, my overall sales is $300. I take that as a win-win. Anything over $20 is a win-win overall. Remember, I lump all of it together to spread it out, so that way if one item sells for $6 and then the next item sells for $30, I'm just doing the average. And in the end, when you do your books for accounting, like, why not just do an average? When you start worrying about every single item and what it sells for, you can get bogged down and not realize your overall profit, because you're like, well, I didn't make a lot of profit on this item, but then your next item you make a heck of a lot of profit on. So that's just my method, and I average it out. It doesn't work for everyone. Nothing wrong with writing out a line item for every single item that you sell, but the more you sell, the harder that gets. And so since I do actually sell hundreds and hundreds of items, I've learned in the long run that the average works for me. If anyone would like me to explain it better on how I do that, I can try to think of how to explain it better. But averaging really, like I said, only works for people who sell hundreds and hundreds of items. If you're only selling 10 to 20 items a week, then stick with the line item on your spreadsheet, because it doesn't take as long to fill it out, and it's whatever makes you feel better and makes you want to work harder. You know what I mean? Some people like to know the profit for every single item. I prefer the overall profit for the month. So does that make sense? I'm just rambling again. It is Friday and I am going to work all day. I took a bunch of photos last night, and so today I'm going to list all those items, and then I have a dust pile of clothes I've been meaning to get to, so this weekend I will take pictures of all those clothes. Clothes aren't my favorite, but I do still have a box of vintage clothes. I don't really do newer clothes, I do vintage clothes, and the only newer clothes I sell is stuff I pull out of my closet, and it's clothes that friends give me. But for the most part, when I go to estate sales, I look for items that I know that are older. I love picking up dance clothes. I love picking up leotards that I know are from the 80s and 90s, and they sell pretty well. So if you're older like me and you're familiar with 80s and 90s fashion, definitely look out for leotards, exercise clothing, stuff like that when you're at estate sales. It definitely works for me. So anyway, I'm gonna go now. This weekly vlog is gonna be like 30 minutes, I'm pretty sure, but sometimes I talk a lot and sometimes I don't, so I really appreciate everyone who sticks through it to the end. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and if you have any questions, comment down below, and I will see you next week.